The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to POA News with Gamachisa Mandida, providing you with the newest updates from Africa. Stay tuned for the main stories and developments shaping our continent. First, South Africa. South Africa has joined Morocco, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Greece and other leading destinations in recording 9 consecutive months of tourism growth in 2025, a remarkable milestone that reflects the sector's strong global recovery. Driven by a 15.8% surge in international arrivals and a 5.3% rise in tourism receipts, South Africa's tourism industry is thriving once again. The country's breathtaking landscapes, world-renowned wildlife and rich cultural heritage are drawing millions of visitors eager to explore its diverse experiences from Cape Town's Table Mountain of Kruger National Park and the scenic Wind Lions. Tourism analysts attribute the growth to improved infrastructure, targeted international marketing and rising demand for both cultural and natural-based travel. Countries like Morocco and Egypt continue to attract global travelers with their historical landmarks, while South Africa's expanding adventure tourism, including safaris and eco-travel, is cementing its status as one of Africa's top destinations. With vibrant cities, deep-rooted traditions, and unmatched natural beauty, South Africa's sustained tourism boom underscores its growing appeal on the world stage and signals a bright future for Africa's travel economy. South Africa has long been one of Africa's leading tourism destinations, known for its combination of natural wonders, wildlife, and cultural heritage. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, is currently dispatching critical medical commodities and supplies following the 28 October 2025 attack on the Saudi maternity hospital in Al-Fashar, North Darfur, Sudan. The assault, which killed hundreds of patients and caregivers and led to the abduction of several health workers, has crippled one of the few remaining medical facilities in the region and raised grave concerns about the continuity of essential health services. Africa's CDC has recently deployed emergency medical and laboratory experts to assess the situation in Sudan and support outbreak control, sustain essential health services and reinforce biosafety in the affected area. The agency's epidemic intelligence team is working closely with Sudan's Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization to verify casualty figures, monitor potential disease outbreaks and assess the broader public health impact. This is not only a human tragedy but a public health emergency, said Dr. Jean Kasia, Director General of Africa's CDC. Africa's CDC is also urging all parties to the conflict to protect the integrity of laboratories and biomedical facilities that store or handle high-consequence pathogens.
El Dorado, a land of wealth, a future of limitless possibilities. This is El Dorado. From natural rich to groundbreaking innovations, discover Africa's untapped potential. El Dorado, unveiling Africa's global potential.
German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier arrived in Accra for a 3-day state visit aimed at strengthening Ghana-Germany relations in trade, investment, technology and development cooperation. He was received at Kotoka International Airport by Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudezo Ablakwa and the German Ambassador Friedrich Landschaft. President Steinmeier will be officially welcomed at the presidency with a full military guard of honor before holding a closed-door meeting with President John Dramani Mahama. The two leaders are expected to discuss bilateral issues, focusing on deepening economic partnerships and expanding cooperation in key sectors. During his visit, President Steinmeier will also travel to Kumasi to inaugurate a project at the Kumasi Technical Institute, engage with faculty and students at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and visit the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research. Germany and Ghana share a long-standing partnership spanning trade, investment, education and development cooperation. State visits like President Stemme's play a critical role in strengthening diplomatic ties, fostering investment opportunities and promoting collaboration in science, education and innovation. In Kenya's Amboseli ecosystem, drones are transforming how farmers and elephants interact, helping reduce the crop destruction that has long fueled conflict between humans and wildlife. Conservation groups such as the Big Life Foundation have deployed drones equipped with thermal cameras and GPS tracking, allowing rangers to detect elephant herds in real time, both day and night, and alert local communities before damage occurs. The drone's lights and buzzing sounds guide elephants safely back to their conservancy, offering a safer and faster alternative to traditional methods like chasing them with vehicles or torches. Farmers in Kajiado County have been significant improvements, with farmlands now better protected without harming the animals. Rangers monitor elephant movements from paro vehicles using infrared feeds, while drones operating up to 4 kilometers away allow for remote management. The system also links to GPS call-out elephants, enabling precise tracking across large areas and reducing dangerous encounters. By combining traditional conservation practices with modern technology, Kenya's drone program is promoting coexistence between farmers and elephants, providing a replicable model for wildlife protection and community safety across Africa. Namibia has launched a comprehensive plan to address escalating water shortages amid prolonged droughts and growing demand, aiming to secure a reliable supply for citizens, particularly in rural areas. The strategy includes short, medium and long-term measures such as expanding water pipelines, drilling and equipping boreholes, rehabilitating earth dams for rainwater harvesting, and installing small desalination plants. Additional initiatives focus on sealing canals, establishing community gardens, and preventing wildfires that could damage water infrastructure. Prime Minister Elijah Ngure emphasized the government's commitment to ensuring each region has sufficient water for domestic use, livestock, and agricultural projects to enhance food security. NAM Power and NAM Water will coordinate to maintain stable electricity and pumping capacity for effective water distribution. Namibia, one of sub-Saharan Africa's driest countries, relies heavily on groundwater and shared river systems. Rural communities in northern and northeastern regions, including Kunene, Omusati, Oshana, and Kavango, have been hardest hit by dry spells and falling groundwater levels. With climate variability and limited storage capacity exacerbating the crisis, the government's plan represents a major push to invest in water infrastructure, improve resource management, and strengthen national resilience against future water shortages. Morocco's 14th International Date Fair wrapped up yesterday, drawing nearly 95,000 visitors and generating more than $3.8 million in sales. Over 5 days, the event hosted more than 220 exhibitors from 9 countries. The fair's theme, Sustainable Management of Water Resources, Foundation for Date Palms and Oasis Development, highlighted the urgent challenge of water scarcity in Morocco's arid regions. Organizers emphasized the role of oasis ecosystem as biodiversity reservoirs and national barriers against desertification. A scientific symposium brought together experts from Morocco's National Institute for Agricultural Research, NDZOA, A scientific symposium brought together experts from Morocco's National Institute for Agricultural Research, NDZOA, FAO, and ICARDA to explore climate adaptation strategies for oasis agriculture. An investment forum and B2B meetings facilitated partnerships and promoted responsible investment in date palm and oasis development. Agriculture Minister Ahmed Al-Bauri inaugurated the fair and visited the Makatas for Hydro-Agricultural Project, a $9 million government initiative designed to channel flood waters from the Grazi rivers to Lake Merzouga. The project will irrigate 1,199 hectares, benefit 6,770 residents, and strengthen local ecosystems. Infrastructure improvements include a 260-meter diversion dam, 14-kilometer of water transfer canal, and 2.6-kilometer irrigation network alongside Lake Merzouga dike rehabilitation. The project aims to enhance groundwater recharge, preserve water vegetation, boost tourism, and curb rural exodus by making oasis communities more resilient to climate pressures. Moving to business, Angola is seeking $4.5 billion to build a strategic rail link from its Atlantic coast to Zambia's copper belt, a move expected to boost regional trade, mineral supply chains, and Africa's green industrial future. The project, part of the Lobito Corridor, will connect Zambia's copper mines directly to the deep-water port of Lobito, offering a faster, more efficient route that bypasses congested southern transit lines. Already, Italy has committed $320 million and the African Development Bank $500 million, while Angola's Transport Minister Ricardo Vegas de Abreu confirmed interest from Egypt and exploratory discussions with the European Union. Currently, Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which produce over 15% of the world's copper, rely on long, congested routes to ports in South Africa, Mozambique, and Tanzania, often taking 3 to 4 weeks to export minerals. The Lobito Corridor could cut transit times by more than half, lowering costs and strengthening Africa's role in supplying copper for electric vehicles, renewable energy, and battery technologies. The rail link also aligns with efforts to capture more value locally through refining and manufacturing, positioning Angola and Zambia at the center of Africa's green industrial transition. Finally, the 5th Africa Financial Summit, AFIS 2025, opens today in Casablanca, Morocco, bringing together over 1,250 financial leaders and policymakers to shape a roadmap for Africa's financial sovereignty. Scheduled for November 3 to 4, the summit will focus on mobilizing an institutional capital, strengthening African banks and funds, and financing key projects in energy, logistics, and natural resources. It will also spotlight digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and fintech innovation to support SMEs and private equity growth. Launched in 2018, the Africa Financial Summit has become a leading platform for dialogue on economic transformation and financial inclusion. The annual event brings together policymakers, investors, and financial institutions to accelerate Africa's integration into global markets and strengthen domestic financial systems. Previous editions have addressed regional financial integration, sustainable financing, and the role of African capital markets in supporting the African continental free trade area. This year's summit in Morocco's financial hub comes as African nations seek to build resilience amid global economic uncertainty and rising debt pressures. Next, let's check the current weather forecast. Before we conclude, let's remind you of POA in depth that follows the news. Thank you for tuning into POA's News of the Hour. Stay informed and connected with us for the latest updates. Until next time, goodbye.
Ethiopia has long stood as a symbol of resilience and pride for the African continent. In 1896, the Battle of Adwa marked a defining moment in global history as Ethiopian forces triumphed over Italian colonial invaders. This victory sent a powerful message to the world that when united by a just cause, African nations can defy oppression and rewrite the narratives of power. It ignited a wave of hope and resistance across colonized Africa, inspiring movements for independence and self-determination. For many decades, however, Ethiopia grappled with poverty and underdevelopment. Yet today, the nation is charting a bold new course. The Ethiopian people, alongside their government, have resolved to break free from the shackles of poverty and embrace a future of prosperity. In recent years, the country has achieved remarkable milestones driven by unwavering commitment to transformation. Ethiopia has embarked on ambitious multi-billion-dollar infrastructure projects that reflect its visions for sustainable growth and regional leadership. This year, Ethiopia proudly inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the largest hydropower project on the African continent. The inauguration ceremony was graced by a distinguished gathering of African and Caribbean leaders, head of states and dignitaries. Their presence underscored the dam's continental significance. Many leaders hailed Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam as a symbol of African unity, strength and independence. They portrayed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam as a modern echo of the historic Adwa victory, recognizing both as milestone in Africa's journey toward self-reliance and liberation from external domination.
This is the Adwa engineering feat. Adwa told us in the Caribbean what was possible if we bound together and created that great Pan-African movement that led to our independence as nations, that led to our understanding that the language of Marcus Messiah Garvey, delivered on the 1st of October 1937, that we must emancipate ourselves mentally. Adwa taught us that these things were possible, and we have seen what we have achieved over the course of the last century. I pray today that as we leave here, that we will see the awakening of Africa, not just in this part of Africa, but the entire continent and its diaspora, because this is evidence that when we work together, anything is possible. It is a determination that one blow at a time, one step at a time, one person at a time, we can achieve so much. I leave you, the people of Ethiopia today, confident that if we can rise to the occasion of working together, then this continent and its people and its diaspora that will be responsible for 1/4 of the world's population, that has given us a demographic dividend that no other continent is now giving us, that we know that you can rise, we can rise, and that we shall be the humanizing element that the world needs now more than ever. Let us go forward in love, in unity, one aim, one purpose, one destiny. Congratulations to the people of Ethiopia. Thank you.
It is indeed a historic day for Ethiopia. The inauguration of the Renaissance Dam will be remembered for generations to come. The inception of this project, its construction, and today its inauguration took decades of hard work, dedication, and a visionary leadership. It is well known that its primary purpose is to produce green energy, up to 5,000 megawatts. The Ethiopian people and the neighboring countries will certainly benefit from abundant source of electricity. I would like to seize this momentous opportunity to congratulate His Excellency Prime Minister Abiy for his incredible achievement, and the Ethiopian people as such who believed in this project and financed it on their own savings, blood, and sweat. This dam comes as a testimony of words translated into action. Yes, indeed, energy transition based on renewables remains at the heart of our collective ambition on the continent. Now, as the chairperson of the African Union Commission, it's also my duty to echo Egypt and Sudan's concerns with regards to the unimpeded flow of the Nile water and their expectations of a trilateral agreement. His Excellency Prime Minister Abiy reassured everybody in his statement, and he said, this dam is not meant to harm anyone.
Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is poised to generate over 5,000 megawatts of electricity, marking a transformative step toward energy security and sustainability. It will not only power homes and industries across Ethiopia, but also contribute to regional energy integration.
South Sudan is looking forward to signing an agreement to receive power from the dam. This will bring power to our towns, villages, schools, and hospitals, and open new opportunities for our people.
As Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has indicated and promised in his inaugural speech today, we all have a destiny to seek prosperity and peaceful coexistence among all of us. Somalia's vision is clear. Our collective stability and prosperity depend on ensuring that every nation feels its concerns are heard, its interests is safeguarded. Only through that assurance can we build the trust necessary for deeper regional partnership. And I hope that this dam and the electricity and the power generated will be the beginning that shows this brotherly and neighborly and continentally partnership.
As Kenya's President William Samuel Ruto eloquently stated, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is more than a national achievement. It is a Pan-African statement. It embodies the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and shared destiny that binds the continent together.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not merely a national project. It is a Pan-African statement. It exemplifies the scale and ambition of African-led infrastructure and aligns with Africa Union's vision of continental energy connectivity. I have already had a conversation with Prime Minister that we will be having an extended conversation on whatever reserve power that is available from this dam. We are ready to sign a power purchase agreement so that we can offtake some of the power from this important dam.
The dam's impact resonates across diverse segments of African society, from journalists and scholars to policymakers and everyday citizens. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is Africa's success, Africa's blessing, and Africa's future.
I also saw about the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. This is a very big deal for Africa. We should all copy from Ethiopia. It will give us more power, more electricity. Some of this electricity will be sent or exported into the neighboring countries, East African community, maybe even up to the West African world.
First of all, I want to congratulate on you on opening the Grand Dam. That's going to be producing lots of electricity for all of East Africa. So energy is extremely important, and part of being resilient is energy. The second one is manufacturing, as well as producing your own raw materials inside your own country. Climate change has many effects on Africa. Although we contribute to less than 5% of the global greenhouses, most of the damage that comes to us comes from climate change, either prolonged droughts, failed multi-season rainfalls, and so forth. So it's extremely important that we have buffer systems and resiliency through technology, as well as manufacturing capabilities. So if there's a global issue, we are not relying on other parties or other countries, that we can feed our own people.
A dream has become true, a reality. This has been our dream all the way through. And we've been listening the songs, we've been listening through music about Abai and about River Nile in our lifetime, and that River Abai cannot be controlled, or the river cannot be stored. So that history has changed. So Ethiopia has made history in really after Adwa. This is again the second big victory for the country as a whole. And every mother and father, every Ethiopian, and from every corner of the country has participated in these efforts. And it's people's dam. It's people's project that has become a reality. And in this process, from the inception all the way to the realization, the commitments of the leadership of the country has been quite really commendable. And then leadership matters. No matter how visualize your dream, but also successive leaders have been pursuing this agenda. And Prime Minister Abiy has made that history, that vision into a reality. So that's really impressive.
Congratulations from Ethiopians for their built a new dam into Ethiopian National Dam. I think this dam is not for only Ethiopia, it's for Africa. And it's for asset of all Africans can they protect. And I wish we make more dams for the next years, for the next future, for the coming. Africa will be great, Africa will be developed.
I'm really very excited about the project. This has been a national project. It's an Ethiopian project, and I think every single Ethiopian should be proud of this milestone. This is expected to power Ethiopia, and this is also expected to benefit the whole continent of Africa. So it's really an exciting project, and I hope it will continue to develop the country and sustain the whole continent.
What Africa needs to think is to look what they can do for themselves, not what others can do for them. And since water is one big resource that every country needs, it is a great move that the Ethiopian government has done to build such a big, magnificent dam that is going to serve various categories, and it is going to help the communities around within Ethiopia. But apart from that, generating electricity that can be used not only for Ethiopia, but also within the Eastern Africa power pool. Indeed, it is a good thing in the right direction, and more so that it doesn't leave Ethiopia with any debt, because Ethiopia used their own resources to build such a dam, so there is nobody who will be requiring you to pay back. It is the people have already paid, and people will always be now getting the benefits of what they have invested. So indeed, it is a great step in the right direction.
This collection of reflections capture the profound ways in which Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is felt across Africa. But the story doesn't end here. We will continue to bring you fresh perspectives, insightful analysis, and meaningful dialogue on Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and the broader issues surrounding the Nile Basin. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.